Olivia is a lead software developer at athenahealth, and she's also the founder of macovidvaccines.com, which is a website that aggregates COVID vaccine appointments and availability across Massachusetts. Currently, she's spending her time using technology to get the population vaccinated, but in her free time, she enjoys her two young boys, and she also sings in a choir. Olivia, you're amazing. I saw you on the news and I was like, I have to meet this woman. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Awesome. So, help the audience. Some people are aware of the work you've done in Massachusetts to help get the population vaccinated. The early vaccination appointment registration website had some usability issues. It had some development issues, and that's putting it lightly. So tell the audience how you reacted to that as a citizen on maternity leave.
Yeah, so my mother-in-law was kind of complaining to me. She's a dental hygienist, so she became eligible, a month or two ago. And she was like, I figured out how to do it, but it took a while. And so I heard some other people complaining too. So I looked and I saw what I now know a lot of states have, which is just a list of places that have that are giving out vaccines. And each place has a different way for you to sign up. And most of them you have to fill out 3 forms before you can even find out that there are no slots available. And so I thought there must be a better way to do this. This is not designed very well. Is there a way that I can use my skills to take all of that information and put it into one place where people can see at a glance what's actually available across the state? So that's what I set out to do, and that's what the website does today.
It's amazing. I mean, how many vaccination appointments have been made through your website as opposed to the state's website?
So I can't say for sure, but I do know that every morning I wake up and I get at least 3 or 4 emails from very thankful residents of Massachusetts saying, "Thanks so much. I woke up, I went online, I saw that there was availability at CVS or this place down the road, and now my husband and I have appointments to get vaccinated." So I'm extremely thankful that it's been a helpful resource for those who are not quite able to navigate the hundreds of thousands of websites that are out there for them to use.
Yeah, absolutely. What was the key in terms of, because I know usability was an issue with the Massachusetts vaccination website. So a lot of content, long scrolling pages, sort of redundant information, a lot of clicks. And then when you get to it, the queue said 10 days wait, and then it said 1 day wait, then it was like you're in, and then there were no appointments, and you were a lot of tossling around. I mean, they had to stand up things pretty quick, so definitely not an easy task. But when you looked at the usability of it, what were the key sort of design principles that you tried to manifest in the design of your site?
For me, there was really one goal, which was, the problem that we were seeing was there were too many places to look, and it was too hard to get through all of those systems to find availability. And people just want to know, where can I get vaccinated and when? They don't want to say like, oh, well, I'll go through Walgreens and make an account and fill out 5 pages only to find out that there's nothing available. So really flipping that script to say, show them at a glance what has availability. That was the goal. And when you have that as the goal, then all of the other information and redundancy kind of just falls to the wayside. You're not trying to smush as much information onto a page as possible. You just want to create a place where they can start. So I really tried to
Mm.
stick to that, keep it as simple as possible.
I love it. And I love to think about you as sort of a vigilante coder. I mean, you're using your amazing talents for the good of the community. What did you learn along the way as you were getting involved with this? You have never done anything like this before, right?
No, I mean, I love coming up with ideas and working on fun projects for 3 or 4 days and then, not having time to continue them. This is the first one that I've really made a real project out of. And I think the biggest thing I've learned is that when I first started publicizing this website, I was super nervous because it was really only grabbing information from a few large websites that had vaccine information on them. So it wasn't cohesive from across the entire state. I didn't think anybody would really use it except for maybe a couple friends and family, but I still said, this is important. Maybe someone will find it useful. I should publicize it. And when I did, the response was incredible. And clearly the need was larger than I anticipated. And so I think the biggest thing that I've learned from this whole process is not to doubt yourself, and anything that you think could help other people, get it out there so that people can find it, because you might be surprised how many people need what you're building.
Yeah, I love that. And when you focused on your family first and being helpful to them, but you created it in such a way that it could scale and then it took off. I mean, how many news outlets did you talk to along your journey here?
I think that within the first 24 hours of publicizing the website, I spoke to every local news agency in Boston. And then, I had an incredible interview with CNN. I was mentioned in the New York Times briefly. So it's been pretty crazy. Luckily, it's a little quieter now, so I can focus on trying to get like notification features out and, put my head down and hands on the keyboard. But it's been crazy reaching out to reporters and getting the word out.
Yeah, I remember this moment at a press conference with Governor Baker where a reporter straight up asks him, you know, this phenomenal woman has been doing these, has put together this website. Are you going to reach out to her? So it was funny
Yeah, that
too.
was incredible. I was like dancing around my living room. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm famous.
I love it. And you mentioned, after the flurry of activity, and again, hundreds or thousands of people have more than likely been helped through your website. Now you have time to sort of focus. And again, I don't, juggling a family while doing this, it's incredible. But how has this changed sort of what you're doing with your career in the near term and maybe even the long term? Because the work you do at Athena is already making a great impact in health. But how are you sort of what issues are you tackling now, and where are you looking ahead?
So with this website, I'm still taking a little bit of extended leave to work on it. I really hope to get email and text notifications out, because the real problem that I was trying to solve in the first place is like, sorry, well, actually, there are two problems, right? When I first made this website, it was nobody knew where to look to find vaccine appointments. Now people know to look at the website, but there's so much demand that it's very rare that something's available. And people don't have time to click refresh on their browsers all day. So notifications are extremely important. So we're working to get that out. Longer term, I think that we're going to have an issue with vaccine equity and getting as many people vaccinated as possible and combating misinformation and things like that. So, what I'm hoping to do, I'm partnering with another volunteer organization that helps book appointments on others' behalfs. So, I'm helping out with their technical infrastructure, and I hope my long term vision, which, we'll see if we get there, is someone can put in their personal information, and we can, on the back end, automatically find an appointment that suits their needs and text them, say, we'll book this for you if this time works for you. So just take out all of the work from the appointment booking process, once demand is no longer so high and things aren't as competitive, so that we can really focus on outreach. Because you can give information all you want, you can convince people to get vaccinated, but if they then have to sit at a computer for 3 days and hit refresh or sign up for 5 different systems, then all that work goes out the door. So really allowing us to focus on outreach and getting vaccines in arms and removing the complexity um, of that booking process. That's my goal, medium term.
I love it. I love it. And you're focused on creating a frictionless experience for making the appointment. Have you thought about kind of the vaccine hesitancy piece, or just leaving that out, to focus on the frictionless experience?
I think that they both work hand in hand. So I'm not familiar. I don't do a ton of community outreach. I mostly know how to code and I mostly know how to talk about it. And so anything that I can do on the tech side to help with that, and I think that the frictionless appointment experience is a big part of that, making things as easy as possible. So once again, other people can focus on outreach so that we can provide information to get people to sign up, and then make it easy to go from signing up to getting the shot. I want to close that gap.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Olivia. This is actually a great segue to our next talk, which is talking about designing science communication we can use those tenets to tackle vaccine hesitancy. So thank you so much for joining us and for the work you're doing. You are absolutely a hero for this community and an inspiration. And I know that we'll see many others following in your footsteps. So thank you.
Thank you so much.